G'day everyone, Jason here with a review of some Masters of the Universe, Skeletor and He-Man. So these are the new Origins action figures. So they're based on the original action figures but with a little bit more articulation for modern play, but retro sort of style. So let's have a look. So this is new for 2020, but obviously it's now 2021. It's taken a long time to get these out to Australia. The distribution's been pretty horrible in the States. They've been hard to get. So I've been getting these through Big Bad Toy Store. So I've now, I think, got He-Man and Skeletor and the first two series, a couple of vehicles and some of the exclusive PowerCon figures. So I'm going to be opening all of these sort of over the next couple of weeks. But first up we have the two most important characters, He-Man and Skeletor. So the packaging is very reminiscent of the old style packaging. It's got the red blasting rocks, Skeletor there shown in all his glory. You can see a little bit of the mini comic behind, and if you turn it around the back, we've got some amazing artwork up the top. The nefarious Overlord Skeletor wants to control the power within Castle Grayskull. That's a really great pose of Skeletor there. Includes comic book. We've got the Heroic Warriors, so the first series is Teela, Man-at-Arms, Evil-Lyn and Beastman, and then He-Man and Skeletor are sort of the evergreen ones. They're constantly going to be coming out, I would imagine. So you can hold the Havoc Staff and twist into powerful battle positions. So it's basically just promoting the articulation. So that is the packet for Skeletor. And then if we look at He-Man, most powerful man in the universe. So there he is, again, same comic behind him. So I think all the first series gets the same comic. And then we've got, he can hold the power sword, he can twist into powerful battle positions. We've got the cross cell there. And then we've got this artwork of, with the mystical power sword, the mighty He-Man protects Eternia from the forces of evil. So those are our origin figures, the two to kick off the line. So let's open them up and take a look at them out of the packet. Okay, so out of the packet we have Beast Barrage, the mini comic. So identical mini comics there. It's only a very short mini comic, but it sort of highlights some of the characters for each of the waves. It's only about 6 pages or something like that. But yeah, it includes, you know, Beastman, Teela, Man-at-Arms, He-Man, so everyone that's in the first wave, including Skeletor and He-Man. And then we have obviously the weapons, so we've got the power sword. So that's done in a sort of a silver. It is a half power sword, so it obviously connects with Skeletor's power sword, but it is in a nice silver. And then there's a sort of matte bluey grey battle axe and the shield. Skeletor comes with the Havoc Staff in all its purple glory. There it is. And let me tell you, that was a nightmare to get out of the wrapping without trying to bend the staff. And then we have the power sword in purple. And again, this is the half sword with the connectors to join with the other sword. So it is a little bit bent there, but that's the sword. And then we have the figures. So we have He-Man. So he's got the yellow fur on the boots. He's got a more modern sort of hairstyle happening. And then Skeletor, he has the open cackling mouth. And I've got to say, out of the packet, both of these look really amazing. So articulation wise, we've got He-Man here. So he has a ball joint now in the head, so he can sort of look up a little bit. The hair at the back stops him. He can look down, he can turn, he can sort of turn on angles. There's not much bobble, but there's a little bit there that he can sort of do, but far more articulation than the standard one, which was just the twist left and right. Shoulders go out all the way, full 360 around, and then there is a elbow joint with a twist. Now it's not a lot of movement, but it does allow you to sort of get into that classic pose. And then there is also a wrist, so the wrist will turn, and there is also bend. It's not in the way so that he can hold the sword above him, which is unfortunate. And the same on this other arm. So he has got the elbow and an elbow twist. The armor is a rubber piece over the top. Looks like it does come apart. You might be able to take that off. And then legs, he's got ball joints down there. So he can kick a little bit forward, not much back. Out to the side pretty good. And then there is a knee joint now and a knee twist, I think. Yep. So you can twist at the knee, and then there is a boot cut as well, and then the foot is back and forward and also has a rocker on either side. So ultimately the classic sort of shape of He-Man, but you're able to articulate it. So you can get him in that squat sort of pose of the original. But he can also stand up much straighter. And Skeletor, same thing. So his head's a little looser, but he has far more movement because he doesn't have the hair at the back. So he can look up and give a really good sort of mwahaha sort of look. He can look down, look side to side, turn around. So that's really cool. Arms out. As I said, same articulation as He-Man. The elbows are a little stiff, but he can bend there and they can twist. He has the rocker on the hand as well. There is a waist. Sorry, I didn't show that on He-Man, but the waist like that, there's no ab crunch or anything like that. But yeah, very basic. And again, ooh, the knees are a little tight, but they can bend, they can twist. And then he doesn't, oh yes, he does have the boot cut as well. So the boot there on an angle, and then the monster feet twist as well. So again, and the it looks like both the armor and his little front piece here can be removed if you want. So they're in a more rubbery sort of plastic, and that is Skeletor. And let's see how he holds the Havoc Staff. So that just slots in there. So that's great. And then you can also still use the sword on this hand in the old-fashioned style of, if we can get the fingers through. So you can have Skeletor there with the sword. With He-Man, the shield looks like similar to the old one, like clicks in there and clicks onto his arm. You can hold the battle axe if you want to. So there's the battle axe, and then the power sword can slot in the back. So that is He-Man and Skeletor. Now, one thing worth mentioning is obviously, we'll take the accessories out of the hands, is that the parts do all come apart. So if we grab He-Man here, we can pop off the head, so the head there is on the ball joint, so you can interchange parts, and the arms come out as well, and I believe the torso, yep, so you can pull apart, and then I think the boots as well, if I can get that off, maybe not. But you can, and you can obviously take off the vest as well, and then the hands, so they pop out, so you can interchange all of the parts on most of the characters. So that's good, and I guess that allows for, you know, if you get parts in other He-Man, like later on, like battle armor and things like that, you could change out the hands, as long as they're consistent with the color of the flesh. It should work great. And again, it could mean that you could get just little accessory packs they could release at a future date, which would be nice. So you could have different hands or different heads or different looks. But yeah, you can then obviously make up your own figures. So kids can be a bit creative. They can join them together. They could have, you know, He-Man with the body of Roboto, or, you know, make new characters, mix and match, but they go together fairly easily. As I said, it has that classic vibe for me. It reminds me of my childhood, but with just a little bit more articulation. But overall, the quality of the figures feels really good. In hand, they look good. I love the posability. I think I'm definitely going to have to get doubles of both He-Man and Skeletor, so I can always have one in the backpack when I travel for photo opportunities. But yeah, very nice indeed.